Welcome to my Stone Online School. My name is Ms. Guriras and welcome my friend here. This week's theme is culture and cultural events. First of all, we are going to start sanitizing our hands before we can start with today's lesson. Sanitize them thoroughly to keep all the tiny germs away. Great. Today's lesson will be about geometry, money, and ordering numbers. Okay, let us quickly turn to page 8, grade 2 level geometry. Now, before we start, I will have to explain to you what 2D shapes are. 2D shapes are the shapes that has a plane surface. It means simply it cannot stand. When you try to put it, it will fall on either side. Okay. Now, for example, if we have the Namibian flag there, we have different shapes, names of shapes. We have a triangle, we have a circle, we have a rectangle, oval, square, and all of those ones are 2D shapes. It simply means when you put them down, they will fall on either side. They won't be able to stand on their own. So we also have to look at the names as well as the sides and the corners of each one of those shapes that we have. For example, the first one we have a rectangular shape, which means two sides are equal. Whenever we have to look on the shapes of the 2Ds, we also look on the length as well as the width of the shapes. The first picture there, we have the Namibian flag, which is actually a rectangular shape. All right. If we have to count the sides, we have to number all the sides that we see by putting a 1, 2, 3, and a 4. So we know the rectangular shape is made out of 4 sides. All right. Now, how about the corners? The corners we can look at by the matching of the two lines. The one that is going down and the one that is going across. The vertical line that goes down from top to bottom and the horizontal line that goes from left to right. So how many corners, and the corners actually form where the two lines are meeting. So how many corners can you see there? We can count also the corners 1, 2, 3, 4. So in other words, the rectangular has 4 sides as well as the 4 corners. Now let's quickly look on the next one, which is a watch. We all know what a watch is. We are wearing it on our wrist to tell time. All right, it's very important. It's a round shape. Do you think this shape has the sides? I don't think so. Do you think it should also have corners? Do we have any lines matching? No. So which means a circle doesn't neither have corners or the sides. All right. So I would like for you to name all the shapes. Under each shape, there is a space provided for you to write the shapes, the names of the shapes, as well as how many sides each one has and how many corners each one has. Now I would like for you to turn to page 3. It's still grade 2 level, okay? But for now here, you have to name for me the corners as well as the sides. For example, the first one is a triangle. The triangle has 3 sides. So you can see the 3 is there for the corners as well as the 3 sides. So like I've explained to you on the previous page, you have to count the corners of a circle if it has. Then you indicate for me with a number how many corners a circle has as well as how many sides a circle has. And then we move over to the rectangle. You also do the same as For the triangle, you count the sides as well as the corners, and then you indicate it in the boxes provided for you. Same also for the squares as well. All of these ones are called the 2D shapes. Let's move on to page 3. Now this is grade 3 level, geometry as well. Page 10, pardon me, page 10, grade 3, geometry. Now here we have different kinds of shapes. We have a pentagon, we have an octagon, and then we have a star. First of all, we need to count all the sides of the pentagon. How many sides does it have? The vertical lines are actually the ones that you can divide in the middle. It means the line that you draw in the middle of the shape, and both of the sides should have equal parts if you have to divide it in half. All right. If one side, the other side should look exactly the same as the other one. That line there, we call it the vertical line. And then we have to count the angles. Now, what is the angle actually? An angle is where the two lines are meeting. And the opening there between the two lines. Can you see there the pentagon? Where the two lines are meeting? The corners there? Yes, the corners are the ones outside. But the angles are the opposite of the corners inside. The opening space there are called the angles. So how many angles does a pentagon have? We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 angles. So we write the 5 inside there. Now, let me quickly explain to you what a right angle is. All right. Right angle is when the two, okay, let me just quickly show you on the chalkboard what a right angle looks like. For example, if we have two lines, here's a line and here goes another line. And we say the opening inside of the two lines is called the angles, all right? And the corner here is outside. It's opposite of the angle. Now, how about a right angle? When we are referring to the right angle, this line that goes here should go straight up. It should form, okay, let me just quickly draw here. The line that goes straight down and straight to the right. It has to be two straight lines, one coming down vertically and one goes horizontally. And here at the corner, it shouldn't actually form a half circle. It should form a square. That is called the right angle. When two lines are merging, the one that goes straight down and the one that goes straight to your left, the horizontal one. And here at the corner or here at the circle inside, it should form a square and not a circle, half circle. Whenever you see the circle inside of the two lines, this one is called the right angle. So let's quickly go back to our pentagon. Now, can you see the two lines matching? But does it form a right angle? I don't think so, because the other line goes a little bit curved outwards and it shouldn't actually form a right angle. It should be the straight line in order for us to indicate whether it's the right angle. Yeah. So, but now we can see it doesn't have any right angles there. So we can just indicate there how many right angles we have. Let's quickly look at the next shape, pardon me. It's an octagon. Octagon has how many sides? So you just indicate quickly the sides that you see, and then we move over to the vertical lines. If you divide an octagon into two halves, how many lines will you have? Remember, whenever we have to divide the octagon or any shape with lines, either sides should be equal to one another, okay? Then we have the angles. Angles is quite easy. It's the opposite of the corners. You just match it inside and then you count all the angles there. If you have to draw a line inside of the octagon, will it be able to form a right angle? And how many right angles do you think after you have drawn a line inside? Then you need to indicate also there how many of the right angles we have. The last one is the star. We have to count the sides. The vertical lines is a 0 because we cannot divide it into 2. And then we have to count the angles. Remember, the angles and the corners are same. It should be the same. And then we have the right angles. Remember, if you have to write the line or draw the line inside of a circle, will it be able to form a right angle? You have to practice this as well. So the right angles in the star are 5. Okay, I hope you have enjoyed your previous lesson about the shapes. Now we have to turn to page 11, grade 2 level, measuring of money. We all like money, don't we? All right, so we have our Namibian coins on the chalkboard here. The smallest coin we have, it's a 5 cent and it's silver in color. We have a 10 cent, which is the second smallest one. We have a 50 cent and we have $1 and we have $5 as well as a 10 Namibian coin. But this one can also be in the notes. All right. And these are all the coins, the only coins we have in here in Namibia. All right. So here on the worksheet, you can see you have a $5, 10 cent and a 50 cent. So if we have to put all these 3 coins together, how much money do you think you will have? So you need to count, all right? So we have a $5, a 50 cent, and the 10 cent. What you need to do first is to put all the cents together. So if you're having a 50 and then you add another 10 to the 50, what amount are you going to have? Yes, that's correct. You are going to have a 60, which is going to be 60 cents, okay? Now we have to add the 60 cents to the $5. So at the end of the day, how much money are you going to have all together? You are going to have a $5 and a 60 cents all together. So we have to write, and this is how we write our dollar sign, with a capital letter N and the S and the line through the S. That is how we write our dollar sign. And this dollar sign comes first before you can actually write the amount of the money next to it. All right? Let's quickly look on the next one. Now you have $5, okay? And a 10 cent. What do? Whenever you see a 5, you can also or always count in 5s, all right? So it's a 5, 10, and a 15. So it means you have a 15, but not just in any 15 number, you have a 15 Namibian dollar. You can also write that 15 Namibian dollar first. And then do you have any cents? Yes, you have a cent there. How many cents do we have? You only have 1 cent, which is equals to 10 cents. So how much money do you have all together there? You have $15 Namibian dollar, don't forget, and 10 cents only. Now the third one, I would like for you to do the third one on your own. And remember, when you are dealing with money, ask for mommy and daddy to give you some coins to play with, all right? Okay, now let's quickly look at the column there at the bottom about describing the notes. So we displayed some coins on the chalkboard, and we also have some notes that we use in Namibia. We have a $10 note, a $20 note, and a $50 note. When we are referring to the notes, we talk about the paper money, you know, the ones that makes noise. Yes, the paper money. Okay, now what do you think is the color of the $10? Okay, that one you need to ask for your mommy as well. And when you take the, the $10 note, you have to look on everything that is on the $10 note. The head that appears on the money, as well as at the back of the money, and the number of animals. How many animals do you see on the $10 note? Ne? As well as the $20 note also. What color is the $20 note? Whose head is on the $20 note? The animal at the back. You know, you have to name for me the animal at the back, whether it's a zebra or a kudu or a chicken or so on. You have to name for me the animal that is on the back of the notes, as well as the number of the animals. How many animals are there? Is it only one, or are there more than one animal? You have to indicate for me the number there, as well as the $50 note. What color is the $50 note? Whose head is on the $50 note? The animal, the name of the animal. I would like to see the animal's name, as well as the number of the animals on the $50 note. Okay, let's turn to page 12. Now this is grade 3 level. Now here we have to work out the money. First of all, we were in the previous lesson, we were adding only the coins. But since it's the grade 3 level, we are going to be adding notes. The ones that make noise, okay? The first example has been done for you. The $20 note plus another $50 note. What can you do? How can you calculate to come to an accurate answer? You can also do it this way. If you know money, it's also fine. But if you don't, since we have also done our addition already, you can always write the numbers under each other. For example, what is the first number that we have there? It's $20. You write the $20. I will show you how to write it. And then we write the $50. Remember, the dollar sign should always be standing underneath each other. And since we have done the place values, it is very important that each number should stand underneath its correct place value. 0 plus a 0, this means we have cents, we have units here. Now, 0 unit plus another 0 unit will give you a 0. 2 tens plus another 5 tens will give you a 7. The sign of the Namibian dollar just comes down. And so $20 plus $50 will give you at the end of the day a $70. That's also another way of calculating money. All right. So if you are having notes there with you, you can also just add the money by counting on. Okay, let's quickly also do the first one. 10 Namibian dollar plus the 15 Namibian dollar. All right. Although we actually don't have a 15 Namibian dollar as one, it's actually $10 and a $5, which has been added together. You can still continue adding by writing the $10 note on top plus the $15 note. Actually, not the note, but $15 underneath of the 10, and then you can add up the two to get to give you the amount, the total amount of the money that you have. How about the second one? Second one says $10 plus a $20. You do the same. Write the numbers under each other and you add up, because we want to see the total amount of money that you have. The first one will be 25 Namibian dollar, and the second one will be a 30 Namibian dollar. And so the rest, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to do it on your own. Remember, money is very important. You need to know how to calculate money. I hope you have enjoyed your previous lesson about money. I would like for you to turn to page 13, grade 2 level about ordering numbers. Now here is a very fun activity. We are just going to play around with the numbers. All right. I will just test your knowledge about how much you know about the numbers. Quickly look on the chalkboard here. We have the number chart here, and I have taken up a few of the numbers here. As you can see, all the numbers are arranged neatly here. Let us quickly count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. So what have you been doing here? We have been counting in tens. Okay. And as you can see here, there are only few numbers on the chart here. We have a 6, we have a 12, we have a 24, we have a 33, and we have a 87. Remember, in English, in mathematics, we read the numbers the way they stand, from the first number to the last one. 24, 33, 87. Now, can we play a little bit of a game? Between here's 0, invisible 0 here. Between 0 and a 6, what numbers do we find there? We find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sorry, this was even at the wrong place. And then the 6. So we have 5 numbers before 6. Now, between 6 and a 10, how many numbers do we find there? 3 numbers, which are 7, 8, and 9. Okay, now let's quickly look here. We have a 24 and a 30 here. How many numbers do we find here between 24 and a 30? 5 numbers, and they are 25, 26, 27, 28, and 29. Between 30 and 40, how many boxes are open here? 6 boxes. So how many numbers do we find there? 6 numbers. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, and 40. Now here we have 87. It's only 2 boxes for 2 numbers. What 2 numbers do we find here? 88 and 89 and 90. Good. Now let us quickly look on our worksheet. It says fill in the missing numbers before, after, and in between. Now teacher is going to do for you the first one. We have the number which is already been indicated for us in between. It's a number 7. So before we say number 7, which one comes first? Which one do we find before we say 17? 16, very good, awesome. And now after we say 70, there's a number, 17, there's a number that follows. Which one follows after 17? 18, beautiful. Let's also do the next one. 15, we have been given 15, and then the number that follows after 15 is been taken away, and then we have 16. So which means between 15 and 17, what number comes there? Number 16. Very good. So I would like for you to do 1, 2, 3, 4 on your own. And then we move on downwards to grade 3 level. Ooh, now we are having bigger numbers here. We are in the hundreds. All right. So between 108 and 110. What number do we find in the middle? As we are counting 108, and then we say 109. Very good. So we have 109 in the middle of, or in between 108 and 110. Beautiful. Now the other number, we have 218. And there is a number missing before we actually reach 300. What number is missing there? 290. beautiful, Andre. It's 219. So I would like for you to complete for me the rest of the numbers. Fill it in. If you get confused, remember to always use your number chart to complete your numbers. All right, play with the numbers around. And now we have come to the end of our day 2's lesson. Hope you will sanitize your hands always, because it's very, very important to keep all the germs away between your fingers, around your thumbs as well. And now Soshi will come here to say goodbye to you guys. Bye.
Hi everyone, my name is Shoshi and I am Peg. My mommy used to tell me that I need to wash my hands and sanitize it to keep the germs away. Also, one thing you can remember is to sing the alphabet song while you wash your hands. After that, it will be super clean. I usually do it. And until next time, bye!